Hey guys, I'm gonna give it a few minutes, see if we can get anybody in. All right, we a little over 3 minutes into it, so I'll go ahead and get started. I want to say hey. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Sure enough, I'm still stuck on yesterday. Much stressing. um, I know everybody's probably spending time with family still. I know some people, has their Thanksgiving a day or two earlier, a day or two after. And of course, I live animals decides they want to join in. Subscribing and joining me along for this ride. I really do appreciate it. We're up to 46 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Uh, Figured I'd share a couple of things with y'all that y'all might not know. My name is Windy. It's Windy. Um, I, as y'all know, I do live in South Georgia, hence the name Georgia Peach. I am a mother of two, and I do like enjoy communicating with the community. Everybody's been very, very welcoming on YouTube, and last night my son-in-law taught me into making a TikTok. So if you have TikTok, look up as under Peach, Georgia Peach Prepping. And all right, let's get started. I heard yesterday early, well, it was around lunchtime that, there's a new strain of the illness that's been found in Africa. Um, I heard, several things last night when I got home. I'd watched couple of lives, and well, today when I got up, went looking on news outlets. And of course, I came across news articles on it. So I'll fill y'all in on what I found. And the World Health Organization announced Friday that it would classify the new B11529 strain as a variant of concern and labeled it with the Greek letter Omicron. Sorry. WHO made the announcement after an emergency meeting of its technical advisory group on the illness evolution. President Squadron Chief was briefed Friday on the new variant, the White House said. New variant was first reported to WHO from South Africa on November 24, 2021. The epidemiological situation in South Africa has been characterized by 3 distinct peaks in reported cases, the latest of which was predominantly the D variant. The WHO explained, in recent weeks, infections have increased steeply, coinciding with the detection of the B11529 variant. The first known confirmed infection was from a specimen collected on November the 9th, 2021. The Omicron variant, the agency noted, has a large number of mutations, some of which are concerning. The Omicron variant, the agency noted, has a large number of mutations that are concerning. Preliminary evidence suggests an increased reinfection with this variant as compared to other VOCs. The number of cases of this variant appears to be increasing in almost all provinces of South Africa. Current virus PCR diagnostic this variant. Several labs have indicated that for one widely used PCR test, one of the 3 target genes is not detected, called S gene dropout or S gene target failure, and this test can therefore be used as a marker for this variant. Pending sequencing confirmation, organization continued. Using this approach, this variant has been detected at faster rates than previous surges in infections, suggesting that this variant may have a growth advantage. The WHO advisory group will continue to evaluate the variant, and the WHO said it would communicate any findings with member nations and to the public as is necessary. Guys, most of us has known for a while now that, once one of these dies down, but when the first one, died down, of course, the second one popped up. And then the second one started dying down. Now we've got this one popping up. I'm not saying that, maybe this isn't true. I'm just saying, it's convenient. The current administration, I feel, wants to keep us under lock and key. But, who am I to say, whether or not that's true? Because I'm not in a little circle, and I don't care to be. Give me a second. I know that several other nations, has shut down travel to and from South Africa, and there are other countries, in the world that has found this variant of the virus. Brazil, I want to say, let's see, Belgium, Botswana, Israel, and Hong Kong has all, you know, found people with this. You know, it's really not good. I had heard last night that there was a rumor going that it, you know, affected people with the H to the I to the V, you know. So I'm not sure. I'm guessing, you know, as time goes on, that we'll know more. And of course, now we got to deal with Iran, you know, which is one of our least favorite countries. Uh, Iran was a verifiable lifting of atomic sanctions. It is under Foreign Minister Hossein. I can't pronounce that last name, so I'm not even going to try. Set on Friday, 3 days before nuclear talks resume in Vienna. Monday's indirect talks between the United States and Iran, with participation of major powers, aim at bringing the two countries into full compliance with a 2015 deal. Washington abandoned the accord in 2018 and reimposed crippling sanctions on Iran. The opposing sides are prepared to return to their full obligations in the lifting of sanctions. A good and even immediate agreement can be reached, the Prime Minister said in a telephone conversation with EU's Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell. Our media quoted the PM as saying, separately, the head of Iran's Atomic Energy Organization, Mohammad Eslami, said the Vienna talks will not be about nuclear issues, but rather about the United States' return to the 2015 nuclear deal. Iranian media reported office in 2015. You know, and now we've got one of those back in office. You know, we've all seen what happened during that, you know, all that money that went over there. So, how are, we know what Squadron Chief's on do. He's on roll over to him. Just like him and Big Boss Man did, along with the Witch and Heels from 2015. Okay, on another front, President of Ukraine said Friday that Ukraine has uncovered a plot to overthrow his government next week involving individuals from Russia caught on tape talking about roping Ukraine's richest businessman into backing a coup. The Kremlin denied any role in any coup plot, and the businessman called the president's account an absolute lie. Zelensky himself gave a few details and stopped short of saying whether he believed the Kremlin was behind the plot. But the accusation raised the temperature at a time where Kyiv and its Western allies have already accused Moscow of massing troops near the Ukrainian border for a possible assault. A suggestion of Moscow dismisses it as false and alarmist. Speaking at an hours-long news conference, Zelensky and said Ukrainian intelligence had obtained audio recordings of the plotters talking about. Hey, Miss Roots, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you very much. I felt like I was talking to myself, which that ain't nothing new. I talk to myself all the time. You know, sometimes we need that expert advice. But, you know, we all know you can't trust the Kremlin. In my opinion, you can't trust Putin and Russia. They've never gave me cause to believe them. I'm glad to hear that. I really am. um, but I, everything in the world with Russia and Ukraine, with Belarus and all, it kind of makes you pause. And then, on stateside, you've got earthquakes all up and down the west coast, some on the east coast. We had one in North Carolina either yesterday or the day before. And there's been some reported in South Carolina and whatnot. And yesterday, I saw where the Cascadia subduction zone, in which I did not know until then, is actually a super volcano, but scientists are quoted as saying that it's waking up. Of course, I've studied up on Yellowstone.
Yeah.
But if any super volcano is, waking up anywhere in the world, it's going to affect all of us in some way, shape, or form. And y'all know I'm not a fearmonger. I try to think and plan ahead the way we're supposed to. And yes, as a Christian, I believe, we're supposed to, God's going to protect us no matter what. Oh no, that's really not good, Miss Roots. I pray for y'all daily. I really do, because I know that that's a rough side of the country to live on. For some reason, I've always, studied up on earthquakes and volcanoes and whatnot. Most people say I have an obsession with it. And I agree. It all started with Mount St. Helens. I remember, watching coverage of it, and other volcanoes, around the world erupt. And I've always said I want to go to Kilauea. And, well, I've never made it. But they're beautiful, but they're so deadly. And I cannot imagine living over there. On the West Coast, where you have so many obstacles to, duck and dodge. Here on the East Coast, yeah, we have to worry about hurricanes, but we have warning on the hurricanes. For the most part, we have warnings on tornadoes. We don't have as much advanced warning on tornadoes as we do a hurricane or snowstorm or something like that. But I had downloaded a app on my phone. It really would. It really would, Miss Virginia. And, if all the time, talking about super volcanoes, but we've got somewhere around 50 volcanoes erupting now. And temperatures is already dropping, around the world with it, with the ones we have going off. And the ring of fire doesn't seem to be, slowing down. And, I've always heard that Mount Rainier, is the worst of, the ones on that side. I really have. But, we have so much to worry about. You know, economic failure, society collapsing, the government, pulling the crap that they're pulling now. Same Miss Virginia. Very much the same. I've watched the last couple of years, living 2 hours from the coast on one side and about 6 on the other side. I've watched the hurricanes, coming increasingly worse. And though where I live here in Georgia, there isn't any tectonic activity per se, but I remember when I was about 12 years old, my mom and I were at home by ourselves, and there wasn't nobody, using dynamite nowhere in the area or nothing like that. We lived in a double wide mobile home, and I was sitting on my stool there at the bar, and my mom was in her vanity area in her bathroom getting ready. We was going to go to town, and the trailer shook out of nowhere, and the wall that separated our dining room and the area where my mom was, it bowed out on both sides. I mean, it didn't cause no damage or nothing like that, but we had never experienced anything like that. And later on, we were told that it was, a very, very small earthquake. And I remember, how I felt. And so I couldn't imagine being out there. Yeah, Miss Virginia, it scared me. And I'm not an easy person to scare. Now, I mean, you point a gun at me, that's a different story. I'm probably going to poop my pants. But, forces of nature is not something to mess with, in my opinion. And I don't know if y'all watch James Kaufman or not here on YouTube, but I've noticed in some of his videos that off the coast, the southern tip of Florida, at least 2 or 3 times a week, there is unexplained weather anomalies. We've all heard the rumor, that the government has means to create weather the way they want it. So if they can do that off of our coast, what can they do in the middle of the country? Or somewhere overseas. It'll really make you want it. Some days I'm wondering why I still live here, but I couldn't imagine living in any other country around the world. It really will. It really will. I have to cut myself off YouTube at least 2 to 3 hours before I go to bed at night. Because if not, I will not sleep that night. Unless I'm listening to music. Which I'm a big music buff anyway. And I have trouble sleeping. So that's what having a grown daughter will do to you. How'd your Thanksgiving go, Miss Virginia? I had to come inside where it's warm. It's getting chilly outside. Until you're going to start back to feeling nauseated. That's not good. It really is. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I'm sure I'll see you out there tonight somewhere. I know Tribe's going live. If I feel better, I'll see you later, Miss Virginia, and I hope to see you out there. Have a good evening.